What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Momentous Living. I'm Kevin, and today we're going to be counting down the top 5 things that we could be doing to achieve. So before we get started, I just want to take this moment to apologize because I think if you listen carefully throughout this video, you might hear someone snoring. And that little guy snoring is Enzo. So I'll introduce you to him so you could put a face to the one who potentially ruined the video. Hey, come. Ay, mamma mia. Okay, this is Enzo Francesi. Relax, buddy, relax. And for all of you who have a French Bulldog or know of the French Bulldog breed, you'll understand the snoring issues. Enzo, say hi. Oof. Without further ado, I hope you enjoy the video. I'll see you guys. Counting down the top 5 things that we could be doing to achieve the best health possible, mind and body. So let's jump right into it. For number 5, we got sleep and hydration. I put these ones together because I find that these are sneaky ones. They're not at the top, but they are very important because over time, most of us tend to lack sleep, tend to not be hydrated. And I'm not talking about being overhydrated, just simply remembering to drink some water. How many of us get to the end of the day, and if we ask ourselves, like, did I even drink today? We could go throughout almost a full day without even having more than a bottle of a 500 ml bottle of water. And this is an issue. This is an issue because hydration, and we don't have to necessarily feel thirsty, but just a nice constant hydration throughout the day could help us be the best that we could be. And what I mean by that is sometimes we get this brain fog, or we just feel kind of off. Our cognitive functions start to decrease. We feel like our memory's off. And a lot of times, this could just be due to a little hydration. You know, throw a little sea salt in there. Just nothing drastic. Just drink some water, and this can make a massive difference. Massive difference. Now, that also goes to performance. I can't reference it. I just remember a study that we spoke about in class a couple of years ago. And the professor was talking about how 9 times out of 10, when an athlete comes to train, if they're not at peak performance, or they just feel that their performance is off, 9 times out of 10, it's just because of hydration. All we need to do is drink some water. When I have a client come in, I could tell pretty quickly from their skin color and their overall energy that they exude. This obviously also comes down to me knowing my clients, right? So we have a baseline, and then when things are off, I usually like, so you drank a lot of water today? Very like passive aggressive, but nonetheless, they get what I'm trying to say. They'll be like, no, it's true. It's true. I don't even think I had a glass today. So I digress. We got to drink some water. And then when it comes to sleep, I'm a hypocrite because I'm going to start saying things, but I do this myself. When a certain time of the day comes, you know, that we finish our day, we get back from work or even school, and then we feel like our only time we have to ourselves is late at night. And then all of a sudden we're staying up, we're sacrificing a good rest to just have that little moment, maybe scrolling in bed. But we need to find our sleep. We need to prioritize our sleep. And by doing this is very similar to hydration. It could allow our body to recover. It could allow our endocrine system, our hormone system, to just do what it has to do. And overall, just be healthier. Immune system, metabolism, anxieties and stress. This could all be affected in a good way, actually. This could all be, we can all benefit from a good night rest. So let's just say about 7 or 8 hours. And proper hydration, let's say 2 liters throughout the day. You know, a little glass in the morning, a little glass mid-morning, a little glass lunchtime, a little bit after lunchtime. You know, we just spread them out throughout the day. So number 5, sleep and hydration. Number 4, a balanced diet. Now, by no means am I a nutritionist or a dietitian. My expertise are health and wellness. So in the field of kinesiology and exercise science. So this means injury rehab, prevention, living with certain diseases, let's say Parkinson's or diabetes, things like this. I'm your guy. Nutrition, not so much, but I do know more than the average nonetheless. So what I will say about a balanced diet is this. A lot of times, most of us know when we're eating bad. It's not really rocket science, right? Like a big bowl of pasta before bed wreaks havoc on, your insulin system, and you're just going to start storing everything. We know that's not good. So when we're trying to be the healthiest that we could be, when it comes to a balanced diet, I'm going to say this. Don't overcomplicate things. If you want to have a breakfast, make it light. Don't go telling yourself, oh, it's oatmeal, I'm going to have a massive bowl. Or I'm going to have a healthy cereal. Have a couple eggs. If you want a toast, sure, have a toast, eggs, half an avocado. Take it down a notch, not too much. Don't overfill your plate. When lunchtime comes, if you want a salad or something, or put a little protein in there, fantastic. Supper comes, you want to have probably a larger portion of protein, combine it with some veggies if that's the way you're doing it. Notice I'm saying protein opposed to like steak or tempeh or whichever. I have my way of eating, and a lot of people have their way of eating. And if they're thriving in life, I'm not going to tell them what they're doing is wrong. So, that being said, have your breakfast, lunch, and supper. If you want to have a snack, make it healthy. If you need an apple, grab an apple. Maybe have a date or two. Keep things simple. Keep those ingredient lists, to a minimum. But more important than anything, cut out the processed food. We have no place in this world for processed food. I know they could be yummy, especially with all that sodium that just, keeps you going back for more. But these type of things have no place, like I just said. There's no place on our plate for processed food. And if you just cut out the processed food, I'm telling you, just cut out the processed food. And when it comes to a balanced diet, things will just figure themselves out. Processed food tends to you just aimlessly just shove them into your mouth. We're not thinking, and they're so packed with calories with so minimal nutrients. It's just a waste. It's just a waste. So cut out the processed foods and, do your best to keep your meals to a decent size. Don't overfill the plate. Now, for the next one, number 3, regular exercise. A lot of times, I think maybe people think this is number 1. But number 1 is actually, well, you'll have to stick around for number 1. But for number 3, regular exercise, this is so important. So when it comes to regular exercise, I'm not talking about only resistance training or cardio. What we want to be thinking about is how much we're moving. Right? Because exercise doesn't have to be only in a gym. It could just be an active lifestyle. So sometimes we can't get into a gym. Not everyone has the ability to live close to a gym, but most of us do have the ability to get in our steps. And in my last video that I made about the steps, I really break it down how this is a very simple thing for the majority of us to get done. We underestimate the power of those steps. So that's a form of exercise. And then we have cardiovascular exercise. So let's say we go for a little jog or a little bike ride or even rollerblading or whatever you do that kind of gets that heart rate up a little bit more, not so weight bearing. This tends to tax the aerobic system. Now, this is very beneficial for many things as well. So such as circulation throughout our body. It's good because we start to work on our heart health, very similar to walking, so long as we're not overdoing it, right? So when it comes to cardiovascular, sometimes, we always have this thought, more is better. It's not necessarily that. And we want the intensity to be a little bit on the lower side, right? Because if we're doing cardio, but we're really pushing our heart rate, this is actually going to shift us into an anaerobic state. We're not going to talk about that right now, but we're not necessarily focusing on the aerobic state, which means we're also not going to be getting the benefits of that. So having that proper definition of what is aerobic and what is anaerobic, this can really benefit us in categorizing how we stay active. Now I digress, because what we're just trying to talk about right now is regular exercise. So get out there, get some steps in, get a little jog if you want, or get into the gym and do some resistance training. We could be creative, and with YouTube, there is an endless amount of information when it comes down to exercise. So I'll say this. If we do cardio, for me, when I'm trying to think about what is best for being in shape, but the topic today is not about being in shape. It's about what we could do to be as healthy as possible. So when it comes to regular exercise, I'd say make it like this. This is my suggestion. Lean a little bit more on the resistance training aspect, because that's going to benefit us as far as muscle protein synthesis. Sprinkle in a little bit of cardio. So let's say a very light jog once or twice a week, and it could be around the block. It doesn't even have to be that big of a deal. And when it comes to steps, try to have a nice average every single day. And if you need to know the averages, like I said, just go to that other video I just put about getting in our steps. And I brush up on that. Next up, number 2, mental health practices. This one I find is extremely important. As I mentioned, today's topic is not about being in the best shape. It's not about being ripped or cut, super strong, it's not about that. It's about feeling good and, yes, looking good. So just overall health. What could we do to really work on being the healthiest we could be? And the mind is most definitely part of this. So when we think about mental health practices, we're thinking about certain things such as meditation, mindfulness, journaling. Journaling is a super, super important one for me. Last year, I felt that things were getting a little hectic. There was a lot on the plate. I was just feeling drained. I was getting my sleep. I was, drinking my water. I was not really getting my exercise, but I was trying. And all of a sudden, I said, you know what? I hear a lot about journaling. And when I think about journaling, I think about being in elementary school and like, today my teacher gave me, no, that was the correlation I had. But what I decided to do is I decided to break down journaling into a way that I could start my day, and I could have a little bit of gratitude, and I could be also accountable to what I'm feeling. So I'm going to explain this. I would wake up in the morning and I would instantly, I did this all on my tablet. I would instantly turn on my tablet and I would just get right into it. I wouldn't check emails or look on social media, none of that. I just want to be organized and start journaling. And what my journal consisted of was me talking about what I'm feeling in the moment. Thoughts, anything that was coming to my mind, I was just writing it out. What this did for me is that whenever I was feeling tired, I would start it, like, good morning, Kev, little third person perspective, talk to myself in a kind way. I'm feeling tired today. And then I would think, why am I feeling tired? Maybe I did a late workout. Maybe I've been studying a lot. But all of a sudden, what's happening is I'm feeling tired, and I'm expressing to myself, why is it exactly I'm feeling tired? And by doing this, all of a sudden, it puts some understanding in our overall senses. It could really help with our stresses. It could help kind of regulate things. It could help organize your thoughts. And you could just move on. And then gratitude. Gratitude, we hear it. There's YouTube channels, there's books, there's everything out there that it's important to give gratitude. It's so important. I heard on a podcast, I don't even know who said it. It's probably a couple of years that I heard this. But they said that something along the lines of anxiety, like what goes on in our mind, can't exist at the same time as we give gratitude. Now, anybody that's had anxiety, such as myself, whenever you're feeling stressed, you're feeling stressed. You can be like, oh, thank you, Lord, for it. Doesn't, like, sometimes you're just in it and it's really hard to stop that ruminating, but it doesn't hurt and it definitely helps. So giving gratitude for whatever's going on. Now, my journaling shifted. I did it almost for a solid year, and it shifted and it transformed into prayer, which was super powerful for me. Not the topic today, but nonetheless, giving gratitude and organizing your thoughts, and also creating some organization in your wants and your goals. These are powerful. And this is some of the highlights I find when it comes down to mental health practices. One thing that we should also highlight is the importance of knowing when to ask for some help. There is nothing wrong. There is nothing wrong for requesting a little support, a little help. It could be from loved ones, it could be from friends, or it could be from a therapist. Just sometimes we have to reach out and we have to help lessen the burden. And sometimes lessening the burden could simply be to talk to a therapist, to talk to a loved one, and just get it out there. And I think it's important for all of us to understand that if you're going through it, most likely someone else is going through it. So talking could be a very cathartic experience to just put it out there and start the journey of dealing with whatever you're dealing with. All right. That's mental health practice. That's number 2. And that brings us to number 1, the top topic, the one that I find the most important for achieving the best health we could possibly achieve. Consistency. Oh man, let me tell you, when it comes to consistency, I've been saying this for years and years. Consistency breeds success. If we could just stay consistent with a game plan, man, we could do anything. We can do anything. Time and time again, I always get clients, friends, loved ones come and ask me my opinion about a new diet or a new training regimen. When it comes to health and wellness, I get all the questions. And the truth is that a lot of them are amazing, especially if you stick to the program. Oh, I'm doing this new program. It's amazing. Well, the thing is you're probably just doing a program, which is fantastic. You're staying accountable. For example, I'm currently almost at 3 months on the carnivore diet. I know it's very triggering for some. It's a hot topic right now. I'm not going to start talking about the carnivore diet, but one amazing aspect of this diet, it's not about, I don't feel, this is my opinion though, I don't feel it has to do with the lack of carbs or the increase of the protein, even though I could make a topic about, insulin, carbs, and then protein, muscle protein synthesis. That could be a topic. But what's really strong about this carnivore diet is the fact that you're sticking to a routine. You're consistently not getting in nasty foods. So if we go back to, what was it? I think it was number 4, balanced diet. All of a sudden, we're doing this regimen where we are consistently not touching processed foods. If we just cut out processed foods, there's going to be so many benefits. So yes, we take a routine, not a routine, but a regimen like the carnivore diet, and you stick to it, and you're going to get phenomenal results for many different reasons. But the consistency of it is where we find the success. And then if we go into the gym and we consistently work out 2-3 days a week and consistently get in our steps, you tell me that you're not going to find results. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And if it does happen, you come back and you let me know and we have a discussion about that. There you have it. The top 5 things I feel that are the most important, or at least amongst the most important, to be in the best health possible. And remember, consistency is key. Like, subscribe, comment, all those beautiful things I appreciate oh so much. And I'll see you guys next time, hopefully with a little bit more consistency in our health routine. All right, take care, guys. Always a pleasure. See you later.